Welcome to today's Lost Souls, where we bring you the most impactful and unforgettable stories from around the world. Today, we remember the lives of remarkable individuals whose legacies continue to inspire and resonate. From iconic musicians to trailblazing activists, join us as we celebrate their extraordinary contributions and bid farewell to those who have left an indelible mark on our lives. Stay tuned for a journey through their incredible stories.
Mick Ralphs passed away at the age of 81. Mick Ralphs, the legendary English guitarist, vocalist, and songwriter, left the world on June 23, 2025. As a founding member of Mott the Hoople and Bad Company, his influence on rock music spanned more than 5 decades and shaped the sound of classic rock for generations. Born in Stoke-Lacey, Herefordshire, on March 31, 1944, Ralphs began his musical journey as a teenager, playing blues guitar with local bands. His early career took off in the 1960s when he joined the Doc Thomas Group, which would eventually transform into Mott the Hoople by 1969. The band struggled in its initial years, but finally found commercial success with the David Bowie-produced album All the Young Dudes in 1972. Ralph's guitar work and songwriting were central to the band's breakthrough, notably contributing to hits like Rock and Roll Queen and Ready for Love. Ralph's time with Mott the Hoople ended in 1973, just after their rise to fame. He then co-founded Bad Company alongside Paul Rodgers of Free, Simon Kirke, and Bose Burrell. The band quickly became a rock powerhouse, their debut self-titled album in 1974 going 5 times platinum in the United States. Ralph's signature song, Can't Get Enough, written in open C tuning to achieve its iconic sound, became an enduring anthem. He also co-wrote Feel Like Mackin' Love and contributed to other classics like Movin' On and Rock and Roll Fantasy, a Bad Company's raw, blues-infused rock, and Ralph's powerful guitar tone helped define the sound of the 1970s. The band's success was not just commercial. Their influence reached across the music industry, inspiring countless musicians. Ralph's ability to craft memorable riffs and melodies made him a favorite among fans and peers alike. After Bad Company's initial split in 1982, Ralphs continued to perform, including collaborations with Pink Floyd's David Gilmour and several solo projects. Bad Company reunited multiple times, with Ralphs participating in most lineups, until his final performance at London's O2 Arena in October 2016. Tragically, just days after that show, he suffered a stroke that left him bedridden for the remainder of his life. Despite his health struggles, Ralphs lived to see Bad Company selected for induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2025, a fitting tribute to his monumental impact on music. His passing was mourned deeply by his bandmates, with Paul Rodgers calling him an amazingly versatile guitarist who had the greatest sense of humor, and Simon Kirke remembering him as a dear friend, a wonderful songwriter, and an exceptional guitarist. Ralphs is survived by his partner Susie Chavas, 2 children, and 3 stepchildren. His legacy endures through the timeless music he created and the indelible mark he left on the world of rock. Cavin Yarbrough. Cavin Yarbrough passed away at the age of 72. Cavin Yarbrough, Dallas-born R&B legend and one half of the iconic duo Yarbrough and Peoples, died on June 19, 2025. Due to complications from heart disease, his passing marks the end of an era for lovers of early 1980s R&B and funk, but his influence and music will endure for generations. Cavin Yarbrough's musical journey began in childhood, where he first met Elisa Peoples during piano lessons in Dallas. Their friendship blossomed into a creative partnership that would define both of their lives. Yarbrough, a classically trained pianist, brought a deep musicality to every project he touched, laying the foundation for a career that would shape the sound of modern R&B. The duo's breakthrough came when they were discovered by Charlie Wilson of the Gap Band, who introduced them to Lonnie Simmons, owner of Total Experience Records in Los Angeles, initially hired as staff songwriters. Their talent as performers was soon recognized, and they were given the chance to record their own music. The result was their 1980 debut album, The Two of Us, featuring the smash hit Don't Stop the Music. The song dominated the R&B charts, spending 5 weeks at No. 1 and reaching No. 19 on the Billboard Hot 100, ultimately earning gold certification and a Grammy nomination. Yarbrough and Peoples quickly became known for their unique blend of R&B, funk, pop, and dance, characterized by smooth vocals and infectious grooves. Their chart-topping success continued with hits like Don't Waste Your Time, Heartbeats, Guilty, and I Wouldn't Lie. Their music not only filled dance floors, but also influenced a new generation of artists, with Cavin serving as a mentor and collaborator throughout his career. Despite their fame, Cavin and Elisa remained grounded. In 1987, after leaving their label, they married and returned to Dallas, where they launched a production company and became music directors at their church. Their commitment to community and mentorship left a lasting impact on aspiring musicians. In their hometown and beyond, Cavin's artistry extended beyond the recording studio. He and Elisa ventured into acting, performing in theater productions such as Blind Lemon Blues and appearing in films, further showcasing their versatility and passion for the arts. Throughout his career, Cavin was celebrated not only for his extraordinary talent, but also for his kindness, generosity, and unwavering support for those around him. His wife and musical partner, Yarbrough Peoples, described him as the love of my life, my protector. Now he's my guardian angel. Friends and colleagues echoed these sentiments, remembering Cavin as a compassionate individual whose legacy will live on in the music, memories, and hearts of everyone who knew him. Cavin Yarbrough's passing is a profound loss for the world of music, but his legacy as a pioneer, mentor, and beloved friend remains vibrant and enduring. John Clarke. John Clarke passed away at the age of 84. John Clarke, the legendary Scottish footballer and revered Lisbon Lion, passed away in June 2025, leaving behind a monumental legacy in the world of football. And at Celtic Football Club, his death marks the loss of one of the most iconic figures in Celtic's history, a player and coach whose dedication to the club spanned over 7 decades. Born in 1941, John Clarke made his debut for Celtic in 1959 and quickly became a cornerstone of the team. Over his illustrious career, he made more than 300 appearances for the club, demonstrating exceptional skill as a defender and midfielder. Clarke's crowning achievement came in May 1967, when he was part of the legendary Celtic team that triumphed over Inter Milan in the European Cup final in Lisbon, a historic victory that etched the team and its players into football folklore. The squad, famously known as the Lisbon Lions, remains one of the greatest teams in football history. Throughout his playing years, Clarke won an impressive array of titles with Celtic, including 6 Scottish League Championships, 5 League Cups, and 3 Scottish Cups. His commitment to the club extended beyond his playing days. After retiring in 1971, he returned to Celtic as a youth and reserve team coach. He later served as assistant manager under Billy McNeill, both at Celtic and Aberdeen, contributing to the development of future generations and the strategic growth of the teams. Clarke was widely admired not only for his footballing prowess, but also for his humility and approachable nature. Known for his down-to-earth personality, he was a beloved figure among players, staff, and supporters alike. Stories of his interactions, such as a humorous encounter with the Brazilian legend Pelé, highlight his modesty despite his legendary status. Celtic FC honored Clarke's memory with a funeral service held at St. Mary's Church in the Calton, followed by a procession along the Celtic Way, allowing fans to pay their respects and celebrate the life of a true club legend. The service was also streamed live to ensure supporters worldwide could join in the farewell. John Clarke's legacy is deeply woven into the fabric of Celtic Football Club and Scottish football history. His contributions on and off the pitch helped shape the identity and success of Celtic, inspiring countless players and fans. As the club's chief executive Michael Nicholson stated, Clarke's knowledge, wisdom, and love for Celtic made an invaluable impact, and his memory will continue to inspire future generations. Frederick Smith. Frederick Smith passed away at the age of 80. Fred Smith, the visionary founder and longtime leader of FedEx Corporation, passed away on June 21, 2025, marking the end of an era in global transportation and logistics. Smith's revolutionary ideas and relentless drive transformed the shipping industry and reshaped how goods move around the world, creating a legacy that continues to impact millions daily. Born on August 11, 1944, in Marks, Mississippi, and raised in Memphis, Tennessee, Smith showed early signs of entrepreneurial spirit and leadership. While studying economics at Yale University, he conceived the idea for an integrated air-to-ground system that would enable overnight delivery of packages, a concept that would become the foundation of FedEx. Interestingly, the term paper outlining this vision earned him a modest grade of C, but it sparked a business model that would revolutionize global commerce. After graduating in 1966, Smith served with distinction in the United States Marine Corps, completing tours in Vietnam as a rifle platoon leader and aerial observer, decorated with the Silver Star, Bronze Star, and Purple Hearts. His military service instilled discipline and leadership qualities that would later guide his business career. In 1971, Smith launched Federal Express with a modest fleet of 14 planes and fewer than 400 employees, operating from a converted airplane hangar in Memphis. His innovative hub-and-spoke distribution system centralized package sorting and allowed overnight delivery, setting new standards for speed, reliability, and customer service. Despite early financial struggles, including a legendary episode where Smith gambled the company's last $5,000 in Las Vegas to keep it afloat, FedEx grew rapidly to become the world's largest cargo airline and a household name. Under Smith's leadership, FedEx expanded globally, operating over 700 aircraft and delivering millions of packages daily to more than 220 countries and territories. His vision not only created a new industry, but also changed consumer expectations, making overnight delivery a standard service and turning FedEx into a verb synonymous with express shipping. Smith stepped down as CEO in 2022, but remained executive chairman until his death, continuing to influence the company's strategy on sustainability, innovation, and global policy. FedEx's current CEO, Raj Subramaniam, described Smith as the heart and soul of FedEx, a mentor and inspiration whose legacy will endure through the company's ongoing success. Beyond business, Smith was a devoted family man and a respected figure in Memphis, where his contributions created thousands of jobs and helped the city become a logistics hub. Tributes poured in from politicians and industry leaders praising his visionary leadership, patriotism, and commitment to service. Fred Smith's passing leaves a profound void in the world of global logistics, but his pioneering spirit and transformative ideas continue to shape the way the world connects and delivers. Jack Betts passed away at the age of 96. Jack Betts, also known by his stage name Hunt Powers, was a distinguished American character actor whose career spanned over 7 decades. He passed away peacefully in his sleep on June 19, 2025, at his home in Los Osos, California. Betts was best known for his roles in spaghetti western films, his memorable portrayal of Henry Balkan in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2002, and his extensive work in television and theater. Born on April 11, 1929, in Jersey City, New Jersey, Betts moved with his family to Miami, Florida, at the age of 10. Inspired by classic performances such as Laurence Olivier's Wuthering Heights, he pursued theater studies at the University of Miami. His professional acting career began on Broadway in 1953 with Richard III, marking the start of a versatile and prolific journey across stage, film, and television. Betts gained significant recognition in the 1960s and early 1970s through his work in spaghetti westerns, often credited as Hunt Powers. His lead role in Sugar Colt 1966 launched a series of about 15 Italian western films, where his performances were noted for their charisma and authenticity. Even if he did not reach the same level of fame as some contemporaries, Betts once recalled in an interview that while Clint Eastwood's westerns dominated the global market, his own films were widely distributed internationally, except in Canada and the United States. On television, Betts had numerous roles, including parts in Perry Mason, General Hospital, and One Life to Live. He was also a member of the Actors Studio, which honed his craft and connected him with a community of serious actors. His stage work included a notable 3-year run playing Dracula on Broadway from 1977 to 1980, showcasing his range beyond westerns and television. In film, aside from his westerns, Betts appeared in acclaimed movies such as Falling Down 1993, 8mm 1999, Batman Forever 1995, and Gods and Monsters 1998. However, his role as Henry Balkan in Spider-Man remains one of his most widely recognized performances. In the film, he portrayed the Oscorp board chairman who dismisses Norman Osborn, setting in motion the transformation of Osborn into the Green Goblin. Beyond his professional life, Betts shared a close friendship with actress Doris Roberts, with whom he lived and frequently attended Hollywood events until her death in 2016. His personal warmth and dedication to his craft earned him respect and affection from colleagues and fans alike. Jack Betts' passing is a significant loss to the entertainment world. His vast body of work, spanning westerns, soap operas, Broadway, and blockbuster films, reflects a remarkable versatility and commitment to storytelling. He leaves behind a legacy as a consummate character actor who enriched every project he touched. Akia Leong passed away at the age of 90. Akia Leong, the Trinidadian-American actor, singer, songwriter, and music industry executive, passed away on June 22, 2025, at his home in Sylmar, California, after battling complications from dementia. His remarkable career, spanning nearly 7 decades, left an indelible mark on film, television, and music, making him a pioneering figure for minority representation in entertainment. Born Asing Leong on December 19, 1934, in Trinidad and Tobago to a Hong Kong-born father and a mother from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Leong moved to Brooklyn, New York, with his mother in 1949 after his parents' divorce. His artistic journey began when he was cast as Goat Boy in the Broadway play, The Tea House of the August Moon, launching a prolific career as a character actor. Over the years, Leong amassed more than 130 credits in film and television, showcasing his versatility across genres and decades. Leong is perhaps best remembered for his roles in cult classics and action films such as Braddock, Missing in Action, 1988, where he portrayed the villainous General Kwok, and the sci-fi miniseries V 1983-85, in which he played Mr. Chang, a henchman to the antagonist Nathan Bates. His filmography also includes Dragon, The Bruce Lee Story 1993, The Quest 1996, and appearances in popular TV shows like Curb Your Enthusiasm, The A-Team, and Roswell. His ability to bring depth and nuance to supporting roles earned him respect and admiration in Hollywood. Beyond acting, Leong was a talented singer and songwriter, co-writing the 1958 doo-wop hit Shambler by Sheriff and the Ravels in the 1960s and 1970s. He also worked as a music producer and executive, contributing significantly to the industry and advocating for greater diversity and representation of minorities in entertainment. His activism and lifelong commitment to breaking racial barriers made him a respected figure, both on and off screen. Leong's dedication extended to mentoring younger artists and supporting the Asian American and minority communities in Hollywood. His wife of 38 years, Conchita, described him as a loving partner and a passionate advocate for inclusion. Colleagues remember him as a warm, generous spirit who combined talent with humility. Akia Leong's passing is mourned by fans, friends, and the entertainment community worldwide. His legacy as a trailblazer, multi-talented artist, and champion for diversity will continue to inspire future generations. Simon Cowell. Simon Philip Cowell was born on the 7th of October 1959 in Lambeth, South London at a moment when Britain was trading post-war austerity for pop culture exuberance, his father Eric Cowell balanced the respectability of an estate agent with a behind-the-scenes role at EMI Music Publishing, while his mother, former ballet dancer Julie Brett, kept rhythm and discipline. Alive at home records spun constantly in the living room, and dinner table chatter might veer from house prices to chart positions, soaking young Simon in equal parts pragmatism and show business lore. When Simon was still a child, the family relocated to Verdon, Ulster, Hertfordshire, steps away from film studios. School mornings at Radlett Preparatory gave way to afternoons of cycling past studio gates and catching sight of costume racks or celebrity visitors. Classroom order felt stifling, yet English compositions revealed a forensic eye for character, and plot teachers logged as many detentions for cheeky commentary as commendations for imaginative essays, foreshadowing a mind drawn to critique and performance in equal measure. Adolescence carried him to Haberdasher's Askey's Boys' School, whose rigorous regimen collided with his growing impatience for hierarchy. He organized covert lunchtime listening parties, sneak previewing T-Rex and Bowie cassettes in echoing locker rooms. Each detention hardened his belief that authority existed to be prodded. At 16, armed with a handful of O-levels and an overflowing curiosity for the mechanics of fame, he left formal education, determined to learn from life. Instead, a carousel of short-lived jobs followed: mail delivery at Parliament, a mismatched stint waiting tables, each revealing new angles of power and persuasion. The defining break arrived when Eric secured him a spot in Emmy's mailroom rather than treat the post trolley as an endpoint. Simon turned it into a moving classroom. He charted the internal hierarchy, noting who decided a single's fate and how whispers on corridor sofas, translated into radio play nights, were spent mapping patterns in Billboard and UK singles chart listings, decoding public taste like a budding cryptanalyst. He briefly became a runner on Stanley Kubrick's The Shining, fetched coffees under fluorescent lights, and quit after 2 weeks, realizing creative control, not obedience, was the career currency he craved. On the walk home, he sketched his first imaginary record label on scrap paper, vowing to champion fearless acts overlooked by complacent executives. By the time he turned 20, discipline from a dancer, mother, strategic insight from a music executive, father, proximity to film sets, and mail room immersion had fused into a single ambition: to shape popular culture instead of watching it. The cheeky boy who'd once insisted the school hymn list needed a top 40 makeover now possessed both the audacity and the insider knowledge to start rewriting the pop rule book for real. When Simon Cowell first crossed from the A&R backrooms into television's bright glare, British pop television was still a polite Sunday evening affair. Pop Idol ITV 2001 shattered that calm. Cowell's ferocious put-downs delivered in trademark charcoal sweeter and withering half-smile turned auditions into cliffers and water cooler events. Ratings soared past 13 million, and Winner Will Young's debut single sold over 1 million copies in its first week, proving Cowell's thesis that viewer investment could translate directly into record-breaking sales. Behind the podium, he quietly negotiated a cut of publishing, merchandising, and international format rights, planting the financial seed that would blossom into a billion-dollar empire. He refined that formula for American Idol, Fox 2000 to 2010, partnering with 19 Entertainment, and Fremantle. U.S. audiences embraced his acid candor even more fervently, and the show dominated prime-time Nielsen charts for 8 consecutive seasons. Kelly Clarkson, Carrie Underwood, Jennifer Hudson, and Adam Lambert leapt from the televised stage onto global tours, each release reinforcing the Cow pipeline: discover on TV, monetize on radio, amplify on stadium tours. Advertisers paid Super Bowl-level premiums. Phone vote technology exploded. Critics coined the term Cowell effect to describe overnight surges in retail traffic whenever he offered a rare compliment. Seeking to control every creative link, Cowell launched the X Factor in the UK 2004. Unlike Idol, Mentors now shaped contestants' song choices, styling, and narrative arcs, turning judges themselves into characters. Sharon Osbourne's flamboyance, Lewis Walsh's boy band pedigree, and Cowell's steely pragmatism sparked chemistry that kept tabloids stocked with headlines. The series crowned chart toppers like Leona Lewis, Alexandra Burke, and One Direction, each delivering platinum certifications. Fatfed's Psycho Music, Cowell's joint venture with Sony by 2010. The X Factor finale attracted nearly 20 million UK viewers, and the brand's stadium-sized live tours flooded arenas. From Manchester to Melbourne, Cowell duplicated the property in 56 territories, building a lattice of licensing fees that dwarfed Standard A and our margins. He then co-created Britain's Got Talent 2007 and its US sibling, America's Got Talent 2006, fracturing the perception that talent shows must be music-centric. Here dog trainers, magicians, and comics stood shoulder to shoulder, with singers opening the franchise to familiar demographics and year-round scheduling. Susan Boles' jaw-dropping rendition of I Dreamed a Dream became the most-watched YouTube clip of 2009, demonstrating Cowell's instinct for viral hooks. Long before TikTok trends, Got Talent now operates in over 70 countries and holds Guinness World Records as the most successful reality format ever, with global advertising spend and brand integrations cresting well above the billion mark across these ventures. Cowell cultivated signature beats, a slow pan to his raised eyebrow, melodic hum of anticipation before a verdict, and a narrative that positioned ordinary dreamers against impossible odds. He packaged suspense like a pop single, set up tension, hook, release, and every season delivered fresh chart entries, from Bleeding Love to Impossible Even. Failures fed the drama. A buzzer slammed mid-performance became meme-ready content, driving social chatter that extended the show's half-life far beyond broadcast. Parallel to TV Psycho's roster thrived. Cowell signed Il Divo, repackaging classical crossover for mainstream ears. He backed Fifth Harmony, harnessing the girl group Void Left. Since the Spice Girls, he invested in CNCO and Pretty Much to court Latin and Gen Z audiences respectively. Each act benefited from synchronized launches across talent show finals, Vivo premieres, and in-house songwriting camps, illustrating Cowell's vertically integrated blueprint. By the mid-2010s, his slate spanned The Greatest Dancer, Leanda, and X Factor Celebrity, each an experiment in genre blending and media convergence. While critical reception varied, the business lesson remained constant: control the IP, own the narrative, treat contestants as co-creators in an ever-expanding pop multiverse. He foresaw audience fatigue and pivoted toward digital. Offshoots like Extra Factor live on YouTube, and the TikTok partnership stem drop, where unsigned songwriters upload hooks for global collaboration. An early foray into crowdsourcing hits in the streaming era, Cowell's calling card through all of it is his alchemy of spectacle and sincerity. Audiences tune in for the barbs, yet stay for the occasional disarming moment of generosity, a tearful standing ovation, a handwritten note to a backstage hopeful, which keeps the persona multidimensional and the ratings resilient. As of 2025, America's Got Talent remains NBC's summer tentpole. Britain's Got Talent continues to anchor ITV weekends, and international spin-offs deliver license fees that funnel back into new ventures under Psycho Entertainment's streamlined post-2020 structure. Simon Cowell's public persona, razor-edged confidence, unruffled Armani, grin that splits applause from dread once masked. A series of private health battles that forced him to redesign his lifestyle piece by piece. The first loud alarm rang in October 2017 when, hurrying downstairs at 6 o'clock a.m. to make warm milk for his infant son, Eric, Cowell fainted from what doctors later described as hypertension triggered by low blood pressure. The tumble left him briefly hospitalized with a concussion and served notice that years of late-night editing sessions, transatlantic flights, nicotine cravings, and a caffeine-powered schedule had nudged his physiology to a breaking point. Determined to rewrite more than TV formats, he began a sweeping audit of diet and routine, trading airport espressos and Marlboro for herbal teas and nicotine-free vapes, and hiring a sleep coach who decreed no screen time after midnight. An edict the self-professed night owl initially met with rolling eyes, but gradually accepted when morning energy spikes became tangible. Reform turned radical in early 2019, following a comprehensive wellness screening that flagged soaring cholesterol, creeping prediabetes markers, and a sluggish thyroid. Under the guidance of nutritionist Jason Vale, Cowell embraced a largely plant-based diet oat milk smoothies at dawn, kale-packed quinoa bowls at lunch, and protein from legumes rather than late-night steak within 12 months. He reported losing nearly 40 pounds, surprising Britain's Got Talent viewers, whose annual consensus had been that his physique was as immutable as his sarcasm. Alongside weight loss came sharper mental clarity and a newfound passion for electric cycling, an activity he claimed merged cardio benefits with the childlike thrill of motion. Yet the epic hobby would soon prove double-edged. On the 8th of August 2020, while test riding a high-powered Swind Ebo 1 in the courtyard of his Malibu home, Cowell gunned the throttle too aggressively. The bike reared. He lost control, and the crash shattered his back in 3 places. Surgeons implanted a metal rod. Nearly 7 in long rehabilitation meant months wearing a tailored brace that extended from sternum to hips, daily hydrotherapy sessions, and guided Pilates to rebuild core stability. Production schedules pivoted. Judges' seats on America's Got Talent rotated to guests while Cowell issued video messages from a recliner. Witty as ever, yet visibly humbled. Recovery demanded complete abstention from pain-numbing alcohol, and he credits this period with cementing a permanent shift toward totalism, a lifestyle he once thought incompatible with the entertainment circuit's champagne whirl. Just when momentum returned, February 2022 delivered a brutal sequel. Cycling near his West London residence, Cowell slipped on wet pavement, flying over the handlebars and fracturing his arm, dislocating his wrist and lacerating his cheek. Cameras captured him exiting hospital with a bright yellow cast and stitches. Tabloids speculated about resilience, but he treated the incident as data rather than omen. Engineers were summoned to recalibrate his bike's torque. Stunt coaches drilled him on balance, and braking physical therapists doubled core strength drills. In interviews, he explained that risk properly measured and mitigated still fueled creativity, yet insisted viewers learn from his missteps by wearing helmets and mastering low-powered models before graduating to racing specs. Cosmetic interventions also intersected his health narrative. A long time user of Botox and dermal fillers, Cowell confessed in 2022 that constant on-camera playback had made him realize I'd gone too far. He quietly dialed down injectables, leaned into laser resurfacing for skin health, and championed a less filtered approach on social media, allowing laugh lines to reemerge as evidence of survival rather than decay mentally. He credits mindfulness apps and a daily 6 a.m. dog walk with Eric and fiancée Lauren Silverman for anchoring him against industry turbulence. Seasoned colleagues observe a softer undertone in judge critiques. Firm but less caustic, suggesting his medical odyssey instilled empathy without dulling discernment. As of mid-2025, regular MRI scans show full vertebral fusion, annual executive physicals place cardiac and metabolic vitals in optimal ranges, and biometric wearables logged 10,000 steps before noon. On filming days, Cowell now frames health as the non-negotiable first item on any production budget, insisting on ergonomic backstage layouts mandatory, wellness breaks for staff, and mental health counselors embedded in contestant holding areas. The man once fueled by urgency now markets sustainability as she's ultimate project, a long-running series where longevity, not ratings, is the defining metric of success. The headlines immortalize Simon Cowell as an arbiter of fame, yet beneath the pinstripe veneer lies a ledger of personal absences that reshaped his priorities more than any chart coup. Loss for him is not a single dramatic blow, but a series of quiet subtractions, people, projects, even pets, each one chiseling away assumptions about permanence. He has called grief the uncredited producer, forever altering the tempo of his days, and the narrative of his empire cannot be read without tracing the gaps left by those who once stood at his side. His first seismic absence arrived in 1999 with the death of his father Eric, the man who had sneaked him into Emmy's mailroom and taught him to hear possibility. In every demo tape, Eric's passing after a brief illness came just as Cowell was brokering early talent show concepts. The timing etched a permanent line between the brash hustler who sought paternal approval and the executive suddenly tasked with becoming his own compass. Friends recall him shelving new contracts for weeks, pacing his flat to old Sinatra records his father adored, writing letters he never sent. The eventual return to work came with a sharpened resolve to anchor every deal In genuine artist development, a tribute to the mentor whose counsel was now internalized. 16 years later, tragedy revisited when his mother Julie, former dancer family matriarch and perennial front row supporter, died at age 89. Britain's Got Talent auditions scheduled for that week were quietly postponed, and the production crew watched a rare sight. Cow voice cracking, delivering a studio floor eulogy about discipline learned from ballet bars and Sunday roasts. The loss recalibrated his relationship with work-life balance. He initiated a standing rule that filming halt by 9 o'clock p.m. to allow dinner with son Eric, honoring the bedtime rituals his mother once championed. The hollow left by her absence thus birthed new rituals meant to prevent future regrets. Public grief resurfaced in February 2020 when television presenter and close confidant Caroline Flack died suddenly, stunning the entertainment community. Cowell, who had hired her for the X Factor spin-offs, issued a statement stripped of trademark sarcasm and spent the season advocating backstage counseling for every contestant, a protocol now embedded across the Got Talent franchise. The initiative underscored that the glare of limelight, if unmanaged, can eclipse fragile mental well-being, and it marked a philosophical pivot from mere ratings toward participant. After our professional losses cut differently, yet still sting, the cancellation of the Exit Tour UK in 2021 closed the curtain on a show he once dubbed "My Baby Axing." The series meant laying off longtime crew who felt like extended family. Cowell personally funded transition grants and invited displaced editors to join digital ventures under Psycho's rebooted umbrella, admitting that the show's end felt like a family home sold off piece by piece. The setback also unlocked bandwidth for new projects, such as Stem Drop, signaling his knack for converting endings into prototypes rather than tombstone. Shared to traced its arc. His relationship with television host Terry Seymour dissolved in 2008 after 6 years and a high-profile engagement to makeup artist Mazen Husseini quietly fizzled by 2012, though tabloids fed on rumors. Insiders note those splits nudged Cowell toward therapy, diary writing, and the eventual grounding found with fiancée Lauren Silverman. From the ashes of public breakups emerged a more measured approach to privacy, and partnership contracts may welcome cameras, but his household no longer does. Even his beloved four-legged companions have written chapters of farewell. Yorkshire Terrier Daisy, once a fixture on studio leather chairs, passed away in 2019. The loss propelled Cowell to finance veterinary clinics, specializing in canine rehabilitation, tying personal sorrow to public service. Each goodbye, whether human or animal, widens his philanthropic aperture. From children's hospices to mental health charities, he funnels grief into structures designed to spare others equivalent pain. Resilient, leaner, and strategically selective, Simon Cowell in 2025 stands at the intersection of legacy and reinvention. His mornings begin at 5:30 a.m. in the glass-walled gym of his Malibu home overlooking the Pacific, while biometric sensors sync with a custom wellness dashboard created by Apple Health engineers. He quietly bankrolls after 40 minutes of low-impact cycling. Never again at top Torquay joins fiancée Lauren Silverman and son Eric for breakfast: chia seed parfait, avocado toast, and the day's first laughter. Fatherhood is no longer a subplot, but the spine of his schedule. Any shoot that breaks past Eric's 8 o'clock p.m. bedtime earns a firm reschedule from Cowell's assistant. Yet discipline has amplified, not diluted, ambition. By 9 o'clock a.m. a private jet often lifts off for Los Angeles or London, each cabin refitted as a mobile edit suite, streaming 8 synchronized camera feeds from current productions. Cowell reviews cuts with a finger on the touchscreen timeline, trims dead air to fractions of seconds, then dozes for 20 minutes, a skill he learned from military survival courses to land refreshed for back-to-back strategy meetings. Psycho Entertainment in late 2020 now resembles a tech startup more than a heritage label. A slim core team directs a constellation of joint ventures. Stemdrop, a TikTok integrated songwriting platform that turns hooks uploaded by Max Martin or Diane Warren into global collaboration challenges, has crossed 4 billion #views and generated 3 Spotify top 20 singles. Without traditional radio campaigns, Got Talent VR launched in April 2025 with meet-a-lets. Users audition in virtual arenas judged by motion-captured avatars of Kao Sofia Vergara. And Bruno Tony Oli early adoption metrics reveal teenagers in Indonesia and Brazil logging in at 3 o'clock a.m. local time to sing for 60 seconds in front of a roaring digital Wembley Addateric sandbox that feeds Cowell's next format experiments. Meanwhile, America's Got Talent Season 20 remains NBC's highest-rated summer property, with Cow leveraging Peacock exclusives, directors cut episodes, mentor masterclasses to drive streaming subscriptions and satisfy advertisers hungry for dual-platform reach. Philanthropy occupies a block in every quarterly OK, our spreadsheet, following his mother's emphasis on arts education. Cowell co-founded the Julie Brett Foundation, pledging $10 million over 5 years to fund music tech labs in state schools across the UK's most underserved districts. The initiative supplies AI-powered composition software and industry mentors, including alumni from The X Factor and BGT, aiming to democratize access to hit-making tools stateside. He partners with Los Angeles Animal Services to underwrite rehabilitation for senior dogs, otherwise deemed unadoptable, a tribute to his late terrier Daisy. In April 2025, he announced AGT's first carbon-neutral finale, powered by on-site solar rays and audience offset ticketing, positioning sustainability as a broadcast asset rather than a backstage footnote. Creatively, Cowell is shepherding to marquee projects. Global Star, a streaming-first talent showdown shot simultaneously on 4 continents, with real-time regional leaderboard voting, and One Direction The Encore, a hybrid documentary concert film chronicling Thebans' 2024 reunion tour. The latter, produced with Sony Pictures, mirrors Cowell's belief in nostalgia's currency, while beta testing an interactive theater app that lets fans choose alternate camera angles mid-screening concurrently. Psycho Music's roster has pivoted toward genre fluidity, Afro-Latin drill, hyper-pop, and AI-assisted cadence mapping, all scouted via an internal analytics engine that scrapes tick-tock velocity curves faster than and our ears can travel. Cowell's role is part showman, part data interpreter. He still values gut instinct, but now backs it with dashboards, comparing hook retention rates across demographics in milliseconds. Personally, he cultivates low-key rituals for equilibrium. Thursday evenings are reserved for Eric's Chess Club, where Cowell volunteers as a parent helper, insisting phones stay in the glove compartment. Weekends oscillate between Malibu surf lessons. Cow watches from a shaded deck chair, back brace tucked away but never forgotten, and quiet stretches at his grade to listed Holland Park townhouse, whose renovation integrated a basement Dolby Atmos studio so he can fine-tune mixes without crossing town. He reads voraciously, favoring behavioral economics to that decode attention spans, and practices daily gratitude journaling, a habit recommended by his therapist. After the 2020 spinal injury, industry observers once predicted Simon Cowell would fade. With the cable TV era he dominated, instead he has migrated upstream, treating every screen as a potential stage and every data point as a note in pop culture's evolving chord. At 65, he is visibly scarred, yet unmistakably in command, an impresario who's swapped cigarettes for kale, sarcasm for mentorship, nuance, and finished products for perpetual beta. Asked recently if he plans to retire, he laughed only when silence wins the ratings. For now, the stage lights remain bright, the buzzers charged, and the quest to discover the next unexpected superstar, as well as the technology that will reveal them, continues to thrill the boy who once pushed a mail trolley down Emmys halls, dreaming of exactly this improbable, unstoppable life.